I'm a professor of molecular biology and associate dean of the College of Ag and Natural Resources, and I'm here to talk today about my research project. Okay, first of all, I'll define brisket disease. That's a high altitude sickness that cattle are susceptible to. It's a disease that's genetic and somewhat environmental, and it's been a problem since cattle were first introduced to the Rocky Mountain West 125 years ago. It kills about 5% of the calf crop every year. So that's the problem we'd like to solve. We're in the business of crossing yak bulls on crossbred production cows. And the result of that first breeding is available. We just weaned our first class of the so-called F1 hybrids, half yak, half cow. Yaks are sort of a last-ditch effort to solve this problem. Yaks are fully resistant to altitude. They're cross-fertile with cattle. So these animals don't show any signs of altitude sickness at all. The big difference is behavior. They're hard to rope off of a horse because they can run faster than any bovine. They're really fast. But the dominant physical feature that lets you pick them out is that they have a fat, short, furry tail. So it's like a salami covered with fur. And that's the one thing that they all have. That's our little plan. And the idea eventually is to get something that has 99.999% bovine DNA, but one little tiny chunk of yak DNA that helps them survive at altitude.
I'm Travis Smith. I manage the beef unit for the University of Wyoming, the Laramie Research and Extension Center in particular. Basically, my involvement began with artificial insemination of the beef cows to a yak bull, or various yak bulls. And then I calved those calves out, weaned them, and I'm the basic day-to-day kind of guy when it comes to health and care of those calves. The one thing that I've appreciated more than anything about the yak calves is their hardiness. Compared to the beef calves that would be their counterparts, we see far less sickness. They tolerate the change in temperatures much more easily. They're not affected in terms of their intake based off of the high and low temperature swings. They're just a very self-reliant, self-dependent type animal that I think could perform in a wide variety of climates and environmental conditions. The yak calves tend to be a little more high-strung. They don't have quite the herding instinct of traditional beef cows. They, when we go to move them, they like to go their own direction, and it's usually not the direction I'm trying to take them. Over the summer, one of the most frustrating things about them, when they were still nursing the cow, and it was a beef cow that they were nursing, on any given day the calves would be anywhere but in the pasture they were supposed to be in. I found that the easiest way to get them back into the pasture was to gather the pasture itself and push them to the opposite end away from the fence line. And those little guys did not like to see their herd going away. There's so many times where we repeat studies that have been done over and over again to try to reprove evidence that we've seen in the past. And this is a topic that's so far out of the box, it's definitely never been done, and that's one of the things I appreciate the most about this project.